neon white.
Hello and welcome to the long-awaited part 5 of this Sapphire collecting series. This one is pretty big, as we go and hit 50 Sapphire medals, a nice round number, as well as some other milestones that will appear throughout the video. Compared to the previous videos, there are a very large amount of Sapphire medals that I improved on. The first batch were levels that I expressed dissatisfaction with last part and got around to improving to a time I thought better reflected my skill. The second batch were Sapphire medals that I lost when the medal times got updated and I had to go improve them again. And the rest of them, well, I'll explain at the end of the video. And so with that out of the way, it's time to get to the new Sapphire medals, starting with I still don't know what STF stands for, and chances are I never will. This card is fairly simple, although there are 1,000 different variations that can make or break a Sapphire time. The above water boost and edge grinding were done well, although I think there is some space for improvement. The barrels were annoying as always, although this time most of my failures came from not understanding where I should be when shooting the barrels, not failing to shoot the barrels fast enough. There is a reroute that is significantly faster, and doing it looks both possible and not possible, but thankfully the route I did is good enough. I also ended with a time within 0.1 seconds of the Sapphire that wasn't it, so it gets added to a list of levels with the same annoyance to prove just how unlucky I got during this grind. I used to call this a weird level, but now I just find it forgettable, at least until I attempt the other route.
I just keep getting better and better.
Despite the short nature of the level, I have had to change my strategy multiple times involving the start. Thankfully, the current and fastest strategy is also the easiest, and I had little trouble understanding how to do it. What I did have trouble doing was the next part, as I lost a lot of time discarding too early and not getting the Phantom, which I used to get easily in the past. That became the most difficult part of the level, as the snipe remained the same and previous experience made it easier. Also due to the short nature of the level, I got a time within 0.1 seconds and onto the list. If you somehow haven't already, you should get very used to me saying this phrase. Once I fully understood the level, hitting the Sapphire wasn't that tricky, but it felt impossible without that knowledge.
I just keep getting better and better.
This is one of my favorite Chapter 5 levels, and I've tried to get the Sapphire for a while now, but couldn't really do it until now. It's still tricky to get the Elevate card with the barrel boost. I had to slow myself down to get a better lineup for it. The route remained the same until the boosting, where I had to get more from the ringer by changing the angle of where I shot. I also changed the ending, from getting a single bullet boost to edge grinding the entire waterway, which is only faster when the edge grinding is good enough. There's even a faster way to do the ending, but I haven't experimented with that yet, as I didn't like moving the camera and risking falling off. To cap this experience off, I got a time within 0.01 seconds of the Sapphire, which doesn't move it to a different list, but I feel like it should. My enjoyment with this level dropped significantly with this experience, but I still find it fun and would come back to try out the better ending.
I just keep getting better and better.
Despite my improvements with the card, some of the Book of Life levels will be an absolute nightmare to Sapphire, and this level gave me a taste of what's to come. While there is a slower route that can Sapphire, I opted to do the world record strategy to give myself more room for error, and given how difficult it is to aim at the barrels quickly, I needed all the time I could get. This level now holds the record for my longest grind attempt-wise, and I changed multiple settings in desperation to get the Sapphire faster. I ended up getting what I thought was a perfect run, but it still was not enough. I complained to the speedrunning Discord and was told to do the world record ending, which I initially thought was impossible for me, but actually turned out to be much easier than any of the other guardians I moved to. After that, getting the Sapphire was fairly quick, although I did get a time within 0.1 seconds. You may have noticed a pattern with these levels, and I'm not talking about how they all ended up on the list. They are all the 5th level in each chapter, and the last 4 in that column I needed. While I'm not getting chapter sweeps until much later in the series, I can get column sweeps, and that's what I ended up doing, which I'm very proud of. Overall, this level serves as yet another reminder to myself that if I get frustrated with the level, I should take a step back and look at what I'm doing wrong, as there's always some strategy change I can do.
I just keep getting better and better.
I'm trying to make the middle third of this grind the hardest section, and that involves clearing the hardest Sapphires remaining, which includes this level. Basically every part in this level is difficult in some way or another, but I actually had a lot of fun with this level. It was a nice experience figuring out how to improve my runs, from getting more bullet boost to taking better lines, which is basically Neon White in a nutshell. Yes, the grind was long and painful, and yes, I did end up with a time within 0.1 seconds, but it was nice taking a break from some of the other painful Sapphires that I just did, and playing a level that was difficult in a fun way. This is another one of my favorite levels, and also a level I tried multiple times up to now. I did watch a tutorial on how to Sapphire this level, but that was several months before I got the Amethyst sweep, and I was only able to find it after getting the Sapphire, which would lead me to improving this level further. The two sections that I changed were collecting the ammo card on the right side, which doesn't look possible at times, and thus led to many failed runs, and the ending corridor, which I didn't believe was faster compared to the old route until I tried it and was proven wrong. I ended with a time exactly 0.1 seconds off the Sapphire, which according to the rule set with Fireball Traversal means it doesn't go on the list. While my start wasn't the best, and there were plenty of other places I can improve on, I'm satisfied with my run at the moment, and still uphold this level as one of my favorites.
I just keep getting better and better.
This was not one of the Chapter 8 Sapphires I was looking forward to doing, which was exactly why I chose this level. While I initially wanted to do a rush version of Death Day Streak, I found it a bit too tight to get the Sapphire, especially with the buff time, so I just bit the bullet and went for the full world record route. As it turns out, the route was a lot easier than I initially thought, and I had fun with the level as I understood the route more. While there were many annoying sections, I finally hit everything, but missed the goal and just barely got the Sapphire. I improved by over a second, but wasn't satisfied with my time and continued on, cleaning everything up and improving by another second. That run was pretty good, so I'm done with the level for now, but I'm a lot more open to improving this level than before the Sapphire grind.
It's 'cause I'm the best.
Continuing on my 1 Sapphire per chapter per video trend, I wanted to do other chapter 3 levels, but had to do this one, which was much easier due to time constraints. While it would be possible to get it without, I did follow the tutorial, which did help in getting the Sapphire quicker. The jumper phantom was difficult at times since I didn't understand the timing, and I still shot the jock twice because that's what I was used to. I also ended with a time within 0.1 seconds due to the simpler nature of the level. You may have also noticed the Sapphire collection screen. That's because I updated my neon light to version 3, which added that, along with changing some other things, which is visible as early as Dominion Traversal, but wasn't as noticeable until now. I could have gotten this Sapphire at any point, so I'm a little disappointed in that, but a Sapphire is a Sapphire.
Let's see anyone beat that.
Like with Sprint, this is a level I had to do due to time constraints, although I'm not sure what level I would do in place of this one if I had the time. This is another pretty easy Sapphire, since you only have to get a good starting boost, not bounce on either balloon, and hit all 3 bullets at the end. Hitting all targets, especially the second Mimic and the Shocker, can be tough with the Stomp and conserving ammo, but you only need to do so a couple of times before everything else lines up and you get this fairly easy Sapphire. Any storylines that connect to this Sapphire can be moved to other places, and so this individual experience is left with not much else to say.
Hey, Red, did you see that?
Here we are, Sapphire number 50 in the first boss fight. There's a story I would like to tell you before we get to the level though. As you might know, I like lining up big milestones with big accomplishments, and so around the time of Fortress and Dominion Traversal Sapphires, I decided to line up this Sapphire with the sub 37 minute barrier. The problem was though, I was still about 15 seconds from the minute barrier, which is a lot of time to save, especially this far down the regression ladder. That's why there are so many levels that I revisited, as I had to play a lot of levels to make up that time. Then there were some additional complications with the Community Rush Relay, in which I would play Chapter 4, which included this level. It got to the point where I had to swap out Sapphires for Sprint and Sweep, so that I wouldn't accidentally get the Sapphire before the milestone of 50 Sapphires, although it wasn't likely given the difficulty of the level. Everything went as planned, the event was great, and I got the sub 37 minutes, which is just another great accomplishment to have. On to the level proper. The name of the game is to shoot certain sections of crystals very quickly, and it's not obvious which crystals they are. Due to this, it's a very reset heavy level, as backups don't really work. The beginning was tough. I had to shoot 6 times pretty quickly, and I was surprised just how often I was able to do it. There's also some subtle time loss in the movements, which I had to analyze to make sure I wasn't losing time where I thought I was fine. Finally, the so-called Ohio Pipe Bomb was tough, mainly in lining the stomp fast enough, not really the discard itself. This was a brutal grind that lasted 4 days, but I'm very relieved to be on the other side of it. The Sapphire is very tough, and I wouldn't recommend it for the faint of heart. Well, that's it, 50 Sapphires achieved. But enough with the celebrations, it's time to look forward. There were many Sapphires that I wanted to do this episode, but couldn't fit the space for. Next part should include those, and it's going to be a tough set of Sapphires. I'm excited to take on this challenge, and I hope you are excited to see me when I do. Thank you for watching.